A snowshoe hike on a brisk winter's day is just the excuse to get out for some fresh air and exercise. Our hike begins as we head west to snowshoe our 2-mile-long loop trail. Pausing to look back, we see tall pine and spruce surrounding our homestead. Skirting the shoreline of our lake, the trail offers a wonderful view southwest down the lake. The first half of our trek will take us through an area that was ravaged by forest fire in 2002. Our first hill climb to get the heart racing. Although the hillsides and vistas look bleak, don't let that fool you. Once the young deciduous trees leaf out, these same hillsides come alive with the vibrant green, distinct from the green of the pine and spruce. While we have the height advantage, we might as well stop and look at the homestead and lake. You can always pin our homestead by taking note of the windmill tower. If you look closely, you can even see our green rooftop peeking through the trees. Now that we've climbed this hill, we'll stick to high ground for a while. The forest fire of 2002 burned a mature pine spruce stand. The regenerating forest is now growing back with a nice mix of poplar and birch along with the pine and spruce. It is a much more balanced forest now. Fire is a part of the natural life cycle of a forest, and this young new growth is great habitat for wildlife. This is a wonderful look at the countryside and the unnamed lake to our north. Although I'm not a geologist, I believe this ridge I'm standing on is an esker, a feature left behind by the glaciers. We'll walk along the top of this esker. Composed of sand and gravel, the esker is a natural highway. The crescent-shaped white ridge in the middle of the image that seems devoid of vegetation is another esker, and we'll make our way over to that feature. A stand of young pines with a backdrop of unburned, mature pine. As we walk this esker, let's just enjoy the silence. Nothing but the crunching of snowshoes on snow. A ravine breaks up our esker and forces a short but steep descent, followed by a steep climb. A cozy corridor meanders through a sea of dense young pine. At the halfway point, we look back towards the homestead and can see the house and turbine tower blending in with the forest in the center of the screen. Passing through the last of the area burned by the forest fire of 2002, we emerge into and are surrounded by a majestic stand of unburned pine and spruce. The north has plenty of bog and muskeg, and our hike takes us through a short section. Not visible because of the snow cover, a flowing stream works its way through this wet area. We've reached the second esker and are faced with another good climb. We are also entering the area burned by the forest fire of 2010, the Hockley fire. You can see the total devastation and standing dead trees. Eventually, all these trees will fall over and decay, providing nutrients for the next generation. In the meantime, the ground is a carpet of blueberries and cranberries and germinating tree seedlings. Compared to the areas we passed through of thick new growth, this section of the hike has a distinctly different feel to it. With the snow covering all vegetation on the ground, we feel as though we are passing through an area totally devoid of life. We are now on a straight line back to our starting point, the homestead. This portion of the trail gently undulates and is an easy walk home. Emerging from the fire-burned forest, we find ourselves at the base of the hill where the homestead is situated. You can see the buffer we have cleared of dead trees, which should make us safer from future fires. I hope you enjoyed our snowshoe hike. Thanks for joining me. Off-Grid and Free, My Path to the Wilderness, is published by Moon Willow Press and is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.